I was wondering about, we've spoken a bit about kind of dropout rates. I was wondering if from their experience they think that more girls or more boys end up kind of getting to this stage of school.
This is so drastically different to what I experienced in Zim. Here, it was mainly the fathers and men and uncles that were speaking and being like, girls need to learn, we want them to go to school.
I would just love to hear, like, why education is so meaningful to them. Like, why do they love learning? Why are they so happy
Hey friends, so it's currently 6 AM and I am making the final touches to what I'm taking to Cambodia. I'm going to Cambodia for 2 weeks with my good friends Jack and V, and of course our all-important and gorgeous manager Beth. Beth is literally the mum to us three chaotic children. Somehow she's going to help keep us all together. We are working with United World Schools, who are one of my favourite charities, and they are just as passionate about education as I am, so I'm really excited to see some of their work. They help build schools, they help train teachers, and they basically help children in disadvantaged areas of Cambodia, Nepal and Madagascar access education. I'm so excited to learn more about the education system in Cambodia, to understand different challenges that children have to accessing education. And I also can't wait to learn about Cambodian culture. I've just downloaded some books set in Cambodia on my Kindle, so I'm gonna read those on the plane. Behold my life for the next 2 weeks. Okay, but T, kind of exposing Jack and V here because I'm genuinely concerned for us. We have this chaotic group chat on WhatsApp. Let me just indulge you in some of the behind the scenes tea that goes on here. Yesterday, 8 PM, my good friend Jack Edwards, can we just remember 8 PM? We're leaving today at like 7:30 AM. I have a live stream to shoot tonight and 2 more videos to film. This incredible man was filming 2 videos that night and he hadn't packed yet. I was like, boy, you better be packed. A few hours later, we casually get a message saying that Jack's visa for Cambodia got rejected and he has to get the visa like on the border. As we enter Cambodia, he's like, hi, can I have a visa? And then V, I woke up this morning and she was awake at 4:37 AM, still editing. I'm like, and then you have poor Mama Beth, manager Beth in the chat like, has everyone got passports? Has everyone packed this? Has everyone packed that? So I'm really excited. I feel like it is just the dream team of entertainment. And they're both so passionate about education. I'm excited to spend time with them all, and I'm very excited to take you along with me.
Yeah, you're looking like a teenage Ninja Mutant turtle with that backpack on. A pregnant turtle. Calabunga.
Did you just pull an all-nighter?
I haven't done one of those since like university. So
We may or may not have just been queuing in the wrong queue for the last like 20 minutes. That's fine, manager Beth, she's on it.
it's really good to start, guys.
Hey guys, so we have officially gotten to Siem Reap. I just put all my stuff down, I had a shower. I can't even tell you how much more refreshed I feel. I have fully coated my body in sun cream and insect repellent because I burn so easily and mosquitoes also love me, and we're not having that today. I'm so grateful because today is just a chill day. We haven't really got any big plans, like we're meeting the ground staff here, getting to know them, going through an itinerary, centralizing on what kind of content the charity want us to get. Yeah, just discussing how we can best showcase the work that they do. Honestly, I don't know how we made it here. That was the most chaotic journey ever. I just feel a bit exhausted. It's currently 3 AM in the UK, so I feel a bit like a zombie. But yeah, I just feel so grateful to be here. Oh, also, okay, so on the plane, on my Kindle, I read this book called First They Killed My Father. And I really wanted to read a book set in Cambodia, specifically about the time of the Khmer Rouge occupation. I didn't really know that much about it, didn't really know much about Pol Pot, didn't really know that much about Cambodia's relationship to Vietnam and the Vietnam War during that time. And after some research, I found this book, and oh my god, like I was sobbing on the plane. It is such a harrowing story of a family from the city in the capital Phnom Penh in about 1975. And during that time when the Khmer Rouge took over, anyone from the city was persecuted. People were sent to labor camps, they were basically starved. Anyone who was an academic or an artist or a scholar was just like killed instantly because they were seen as a threat to the new occupation. And the story follows a 5-year-old girl and her family, and it's just such a painful story, but I'm really glad that I read it, because I think it's one thing to learn a fact like, oh, Cambodia had this thing called the Khmer Rouge, and it's another to in some way experience a story of someone who went through that. I'm really looking forward to learning more about Cambodia. I'd like to read some more books. Yeah, I'm so grateful to be here. Gentle animals. Hi guys!
Good morning.
Hello! So we are on our way to Banlung in the northeast of Cambodia.
Woo, 6 hours away.
6 hours.
When you say it like that, that sounds exciting.
And the views are so beautiful. Like it's just so green.
It is stunning.
I saw a type of cow. I've just never seen before.
Jade was like, I haven't seen that cow before.
Yeah, how are you feeling about the journey?
It's really reminding me of home. Like this is giving me semi-Zim vibes, which is slightly different, but yeah.
Jack, how are you feeling?
I'm good because I get very travel sick, right? So I'm like drugged up on travel sickness tablets, but it's so beautiful that I'm just like I'm just gonna be focusing on the views and not my stomach.
So how are you guys in the back, team?
Okay, thank you.
Ellie and Savette. These are our lovely team from UWS.
I'm from Banlung, so this is my hometown.
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoy it.
Oh.
We'll have a lot of storytelling like culture, marriage story.
Hi guys! So we made it to the next location. We spent the whole day in a car, but the journey was gorgeous. Yeah, and me and Jack and V just ended up having some quite deep conversations about what it's like to be in this YouTube space and to have so many people watching you and what that's like, and I don't know, all these behind the scenes things that I think aren't relatable for most people, so it's just really cool having friends in this space. And then it was so cool getting to know Savette, who is actually from Banlung, this area. I just pestered him with questions. I just genuinely love learning about other cultures and learning about other countries and how things work here, like what the education system is like currently, the reasons why the charity chose Cambodia, how their history and politics influences the future of education, how cultural values about things like the role of the girl in society, like how that impacts educational outcomes. It's just so interesting learning from them. And then when we got here, we had this glorious dinner with a guy called Sita, who is one of the founders of UWS. UWS has been operating in Cambodia for 14 years. And just in these 14 years, can you believe this? They have created 135 schools in Cambodia, which is like more than 14,000 children who now have access to education. I think it's really easy to say those numbers and for it to sound cool and for it to be like, yeah, that's meaningful. but it's just another story when you're sitting with the founder who tells you stories of students who dreamt of being able to learn, or communities who have been begging the government for years to have a school in their area and then it was never funded, and then UWS being created and being able to fund that school, and just how much that impacts the lives of these people. Like, it just makes you realize how important this work is. And if you've been following me for a while, I'm quite skeptical of NGOs, especially Western NGOs who are doing work in developing countries. There can be so many issues. It can be like, okay, I'm sorry, I had to just quickly interrupt. Okay, so I was just told at dinner that apparently geckos, the reason they're called gecko is because they actually make the sound gecko, gecko. And I was like, sure they do. Like, I've never heard that before. I doubt I'll ever hear it. I just heard it. Like, gecko, gecko, gecko. Oh, I love it. What was I saying? Yes, the NGO space. Like, I don't know, like there can be so many issues. It can basically be like Western countries coming in, pretending they know things about the culture, making all these suggestions, pumping money into projects that don't actually help the community. They just sound good. They run campaigns that like perpetuate developing countries as being seen in poverty and being seen as victims and not being part of the solution and like needing the help of the West, which is also problematic because a lot of the time in history, the reason that these countries are less developed is because of Western countries profiting off of them. Things like colonialism and mining and industrialization and profiting off of other countries. Yeah, so I think it's just good to have a healthy dose of questioning and skepticism around charity work. But my God, like UWS they're an A-star charity. They are doing things right. They are setting an example for what a charity should be. And I haven't even gone to see the work yet. Their whole model is so deeply ingrained with communities. They have different programs like for parents, for girls' education, getting rid of the barriers to education, all these different programs. And then they also have the aid of the UK branch who help with like funding and just international recognition. And then they also work here with the governments in transitioning schools that are made by UWS into government control eventually. So the goal is like always for UWS to start them in the communities, make them community-led, but then to also have that government involvement here. So it's just like, I don't know. I've asked so many questions and I just think it's such a good charity. And it's just insane what they've accomplished in such a small amount of time. Also, just if you're intrigued, I don't know, I just find this space really interesting. Another really big critique of non-profits generally is the longevity of their solutions. Imagine if you're trying to get donors to put large amounts of money behind a charity, they're gonna wanna see results. They're gonna wanna see some helpful metrics ASAP in order to justify their like investment or in order to donate more. And so a lot of charities end up doing things which are basically band-aid solutions, like really short-term solutions that don't actually really help. They just show results more quickly so that they can then get more funding. But UWS, they seem to have really long-term solutions like the transition model into the government. So yeah, those are just my general thoughts. But it's so cool hearing how passionate the team are. We've also just been briefed on what we need to pack to go to the village tomorrow, and it's like very rural. We're going to be sleeping in hammocks in the school, which is really exciting. There's going to be like a bonfire night. I've heard the mosquito situation is, you know, not ideal, so we'll be packing some DEET insect repellent. It's also really important in the villages to be modest and like, you know, cover the shoulders, cover your midriff, cover your legs. So I've got a cheeky little dress I'm gonna wear, and by cheeky little I definitely don't mean cheeky, I just mean just a cute dress. Oh, but I love being around people who are just as passionate about education. And I was speaking to Sita, the founder of the charity, and I was like, oh, why education? Like, why start a charity in this sector, you know? And he was just saying, like, education is the foundation of everything. It intersects with the climate crisis and how we view the environment. It intersects with gender inequality and girls' prospects in the world. It intersects with social mobility, employment rates, development of countries. It intersects with everything. And yeah, I love learning about it, I love talking about it. Okay, let's go pack.